everyone, it's Siobhan here. My hair idea today was inspired by Vikings and the character of Thorunn, or Porun. I've heard the name both ways. This is Bjorn's sort of, I guess, soon-to-be wife, and I have a couple of materials that I'll be using: a comb, a brush, I have small clear elastics, and I actually have some craft wire and some wire cutters, and I'll show you how I'm going to use these in a minute. This character happens to have half of her head shaved. I don't have a haircut like that, so I'm going to section a piece of hair from my temple all the way down to the nape of my neck, and that's going to be the piece of hair that represents the shaved portion of her head. With this piece of hair, I'm going to create a little French braid, and I'm going to try and keep it as close to the parting going all the way around as I can. To do this, you just kind of have to keep your hands high up on your head, or at least try and follow the parting. So I'm starting here at the top, taking a strand, dividing it into 3, and just starting a regular French braid. And so I'm going to take really small sections here from along the parting to add into my top strand, and longer, sort of more sweeping sections from here at the bottom into the bottom strand. So now that I have my pseudo-shaved side, I can start with sort of the rest of the hairstyle. And what I'm going to do now is sort of create a headband part going from the shaved side to the other side of my head. What I'm going to do for now is just kind of twist this bottom section of hair out of my way, and I'm going to just make like a simple sort of twist so that I don't crease my hair with the elastic or with a braid. Now along this side here, I'm going to also section again another small piece of hair going from my forehead to the back right here where the headband part is. This section of hair is going to be divided up into several little micro braids, and I'm shooting for 5, but we'll see how much I can do. I think the number of braids you create depends on the shape of your head and the density of your hair. And as you braid, just kind of pull them directly back. I'm also not braiding the entire length of my hair, I'm kind of stopping in the middle of the strand. Somehow I managed to get 6 braids out of a section of hair that I thought would only make 5, so I'm pretty excited about that. In any of the scenes in which he's wearing this hairstyle, you can see that these little micro braids are kind of looped around each other in this way that they sort of stand upright, kind of like this on her head. And I have to wonder how they created this, because the only way that I've been able to make it work on my own hair is to use a little bit of craft wire just to keep the braids a little bit more pliable and steady on my head. So that's what I'm doing. Got just regular craft wire, it's silver, this is 28 gauge. You can use 24 too, but I'm going to try and use the thinner, that way maybe I can hide it. And I've got some wire cutters, of course. So I'm just going to very roughly kind of measure how much I need according to each braid and just snip it off. Then I'm just going to lace it through in and out of each braid, kind of like a piece of thread. So even if you had like an embroidery needle, you could use that too, but I don't necessarily know if you need that because the craft wire kind of just goes through the braids pretty easily on its own. With whatever's left over, I'm just going to wrap it around the end of the braid here at the bottom and then also at the top. Now I'm just going to make sort of like a deep side part here on the other side of my head, and I'm going to use this hair in the center to create a French braid. First I'm going to take this side section and just kind of add it to all the hair in the back. That way it doesn't get in my way. I'm going to start by taking the first braid, and I am going to pull this little elastic out from the bottom, and it's actually pretty cool because the craft wire sort of holds the braid in place. I'm going to pass it underneath the second one, and then I'm going to bend it through like this so it'll be kind of wrapped around, and I'm going to bring the tail up this way. It should be sort of wrapped around and through, and then the loop here brought to the other side. And when I build I'm actually going to do a Dutch braid, although you can do a French or a Dutch. I'm going to incorporate these tails into that braid. For now, I'm just going to hold it with a clip here. I'm on my fourth braid, so I'm bringing it under the fifth. I'm looping it and sort of bringing it through like that. I'm fixing my loop and bringing the end up here. I've got one braid left over, but I actually have an idea for that, so I very carefully slide the elastics out of these small micro braids because I don't need them really. Kind of flipping the ends carefully over this way. I've seen this kind of look like a Dutch braid or a French braid. I'm going to go for the Dutch because I find that it hides the ends of the braids a little bit better, just in my opinion. I'm dividing in three. I'm going to do the Dutch as I said, so I'm folding my strands under. And then like before, like this braid, I'm just taking really small sections from the side here, and then a longer sort of sweeping section into this strand. And I'm also going to add to this side the tail from this first loop. Just readjusting my loops now that my braid's done. I've secured with an elastic, but with this last braid, it still has craft wire in it, so I am going to use it to sort of wrap around the larger braid. Just gonna reestablish my headband parting. Clipping that out of the way again. Lower portion, grabbing a little piece of hair here, and again, I've seen this rope twisted or braided. I am going to actually do a rope twist. From here to here, I've gathered a section, and I'm going to also rope braid this as well. Thanks so much for watching my video. I hope you liked it, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!